in Kentucky. What's going on with the voters in Kentucky? As you and I, we have fully embraced our gray hair. So we had the courage to you have gray hair.
I thought it was, and so that's why this has all been manipulated a little bit. I said, is it going to be exposed? And
Hi, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, or in the middle of the night, whenever you guys are watching this.
or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow. This is true. If you're in Australia, you're watching this tomorrow. I have Danny. I don't know if you guys ever joined Lori on her channel yesterday, but she was talking about how she wasn't feeling very well. Well, she woke up a little worse today. So it's just Danny and I think we're going to reschedule for all three of us next week if we can, or at some point.
Yep.
We're gonna definitely get that done. So welcome, Danny, back to my channel.
Thank you. It's good to be in the Celtic land.
In the Celtic Tarot, the Celtic Tarot spot.
Yeah.
So how have you been? What have you been doing on your channel? What's the good stuff? Give us some tea.
Oh, good stuff on my channel. No.
Good, bad, indifferent, funny. We don't care.
Yeah. Well, I just am finishing up a class with Medium Kim. It's the first class that I helped facilitate, which was so much fun. It's way more work than I thought it would be. But
well, explain that. And how did you get in there and all of that? Promote that class.
Well, it's almost over.
Well, she's probably going to do another one, right?
We may do another one. Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a class with her, like you're teaching with her.
With her.
Oh, I see.
With her. And it was called Rocks and Feathers, and we're using all sorts of different divination tools. So using shamanic tools as well as her mediumship tools to just take a different look at the world and our planet and the oceans and the mountains. And it's really cool because it's just not one area, but we use the medicine wheel to go into the east, south, west, north, all the different elements, that different angels, different guides. So it's really powerful stuff. Really neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. How many? So did you have a lot of students?
We had the perfect amount.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I know how that goes. Like it's the perfect amount. The people who needed it showed up. Yep, exactly.
Right. And Mitch McConnell.
Oh, let's go into Mitch McConnell. Oh my gosh, that man. What a Freudian slip.
Oh my God.
What a Freudian slip. I'm going to play the video right here.
What's your message for voters of color who are concerned that without the John L. Lewis Voting Rights Act, they're not going to be able to vote in the midterm?
Well, the concern is misplaced. If you look at the statistics, African-American voters are voting in just as high a percentage as Americans. 94% of Americans thought it was easy to vote. This is not a problem.
Okay, now that you have seen the video, this man editing at its best, right? This man, Freudian slip. If you don't think that he is a prejudice, he's a silent prejudice man, right? Yeah. You can't say that out loud. But yeah, that was awful. So there's probably not going to be any backlash from that man, but he
probably not. I mean, they'll spin it, I just misspoke, and or he won't say anything. But I don't know. Are people going to keep are people going to keep dogging after him to get him to say, explain himself. How can he explain himself though?
You can't
No.
you can't come up out of that, and you can't come up out of that.
No. Will that have any, so when I first heard it, after the shock kind of went away I go, did I just hear that right? And so I was wondering, is that going to have any effect on the voting rights? Are people going to go, oh, that we need to maybe step up and do the right thing? And
No.
I didn't
But
think
I
so.
have a feeling that they're going to water it down to something that maybe they'll get on board with. I've felt that. In fact, I just listened to something this morning about that. I was like, I already read on that. I already, said that, yeah, that's probably what they're going to do. And then I read something this morning, or listened to something this morning, which I'll post up right here.
I know that things are looking grim with voters' rights legislation, but don't give up just yet. So to recap yesterday, the Democrats were unsuccessful in their attempts to pass the Freedom to Vote Act, the John Lewis Act, and in their attempts to change the rules of the filibuster. Chuck Schumer even went as far as to present the idea of just bringing back the talking filibuster and not the filibuster carve-out, and that too also failed. And all of those attempts failed because of these two. But the Democrats may have one more play up their sleeve. On Tuesday night, Senator Cory Booker was on Joy Reid's show, in which he said that should those two bills fail to pass, which they did, the Democratic Party would in turn then separate all the individual parts of the bill and force Republicans to vote on them to identify which specific parts of the bill they have issues with. In this way, Americans will be able to see what individual parts of the bill Republicans have issues with, instead of them just issuing a blanket statement saying that they don't like the bill in its entirety. Similar to what Joe Biden is planning on doing with Build Back Better. Now, I personally think that this is a great idea, and I'll be sure to update you guys as more information comes out.
That's what they were talking about, is they will go back to the drawing board and vote and look at the things that they don't want and what they do want out of the bill, and hopefully get something passed, something of some sort passed. So I do think that they're just going to water it down or piecemeal it or some along that lines. But before we go on any further, a lot of people want to know this light, where I got it. I got it off of Amazon, and it's called the Remote Control Ocean Wave.
Oh, look at that.
The Remote Control Ocean Wave. That's where I got it. I got it off of Amazon. This is what it looks like. I think it was like maybe $14. I don't really remember. But there you have it. You can actually, it actually can do different things and all of that.
Well, let's see. Remote control it.
Let's see what I can do. I do have the remote here. Let's see. It has different settings, I think.
Can you do sunset?
I really don't know. I have never really played with it. Oh, I guess I can put a timer on it. I can do flash mode, I think.
Ooh, there you go.
Ooh, green.
Green.
So I can change the colors on it. Oh, it can do that.
Wow, that's annoying.
That's very distracting. And then on, and it has all the colors. Let's see, green. Kind of liked that one.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll keep it on that one for a while.
All right.
And so a lot of people keep on asking about that. So there that is.
There that
and
is.
let's go ahead and read on Mr. Mitch McConnell. I want to see if he has any fallout. We read on him that he was going to win his election, and the whole time that we read on him he was going to win the election, I said no, 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 and then he won his election. So we all know that there's somehow someplace, the only people that got out and voted was the Republicans apparently, and they literally gerrymandered and smashed the votes or suppressed the votes of other people in Kentucky. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like everybody who could have voted him out wanted him out, but they didn't vote.
I also think at that time there were his approval rating in Kentucky was pretty low.
Yes.
And didn't he get more votes than the Republican
Lindsey Graham, or no?
Mitch McConnell and Lindsay. They both got more votes than they had Republican
Registered?
registrant.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That could have been.
And I'm listening to Mr. Pumpkinhead saying how he can't believe he lost because the Georgia thing has been in the news a lot.
Yeah.
And so and they're saying that if he really believes it, is he trying to is he being criminal if he really believes the election was stolen? And I think somebody was trying to manipulate, was trying to cheat in those areas, and they thought that they had it so well sewn up, and when they didn't, they were shocked, and they go, I just spent all this money to make sure that I was going to get elected by messing with the votes.
Yep.
And he lost, but his other boys got in there.
Yeah.
That's the sense that I'm getting with this, that for entertainment only.
Yeah.
But there's something really goofy that people aren't looking at.
Well, let's
'Cause
just read on the voting system or the votes in Kentucky and
Okay.
read on that instead of Mitch McConnell, because Mitch McConnell, he's already very secure. He already knows that he's gonna, he goes, I've been doing this for years. We know how to cheat and get in.
Right.
So apparently he doesn't think that anybody of color in his state are Americans anyway.
I saw something
POS.
on the news where it said we need to lose these hyphenated names. We should all just be one.
Yes, united,
Yeah.
one. The word is one. Okay, let's see.
And I'm using my Rider-Waite deck
Okay.
in honor of Lori.
Yes.
So I'm gonna channel her inner knowledge on the Rider-Waite
There you go.
because she's so good at that.
She does. She really does read them pretty good.
All right.
Mine's Rider-Waite a little.
It is.
Yeah, it has words at the bottom. Like I like it. Okay, the voters in Kentucky. What's going on with the voters in Kentucky? Huh. What'd you get?
I don't know yet. So I asked, was there cheating in Kentucky? And the first card I got was, where's my camera? There it is. The first card I got was the Ace of Swords. And I'm going, okay, well, there's some truth that's going to be coming out, but it's being challenged by people hanging on to things. And I'm like, so they're not counting all the votes here. They're holding on to some of them. Something's being held pretty tight to the chest. At the base of the reading is the Ace of Wands, a new idea, new passion, new something. In the past is the old guard with the Queen of Pentacles. It's not like, the 10, but it just feels like this is old guard. And again, I get old guard at the top of the reading with the Queen of Wands. And then in the potential near future, the Two of Wands. So it's kind of interesting. I have a lot of wands. This one, there's a decision, and he has the world in his hand. If I were to, when I look at this spread, I just feel like there's a lot of old stuff going on, but this is overseas. This is world issues. I do think that there was something that is for entertainment only, not allowing all the votes to be counted. That's what I'm getting out of this.
I completely agree with you. I literally have the 9 of Pentacles, which is enjoy the results of all your hard work.
Yeah.
Enjoy the results of all of your hard work. And that has the element of the Queen of Cups. Like they emotionally, how can I put this? In Kentucky, they kind of emotionally suppress. So they're depressed, they're poor, not all of them. Don't come at me like everybody in Kentucky is poor, because I know that. I know the difference. I'm talking about the ones that could vote. So what they're doing is they have them in poverty. Nobody has gas money to get to the polls. You know what I mean? Nobody has the to even concentrate on anything other than just survival.
Yeah.
In Kentucky. They are at the lowest of education. They are the lowest of income. They are the lowest. I mean, they really are desperate there. And this is the Queen of Cups. They don't do anything to help them out. As they do as little as possible to help them out, because they know that depressed people don't get out and vote. Poverty people don't get out and vote. And so this is where enjoy the results of your hard work. And he knows that. And I also got the World card. The World card, that, and I got the Magician. So there's, some, the Magician, the manipulation, the something of the world manipulation and the manipulation of their world, So I also have the be ready for the opportunity. So the moment that they know when to promote and who not to promote. They know what TV station to announce something, what TV station not to announce something. Mm-hmm. They know, you know what I mean? It's like these people probably like, oh, there was an election. I didn't even hear about that. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Right? They have a manipulation of the information going to them. And I'm pretty sure somebody from Kentucky that lives or knows anybody in the most impoverished parts of Kentucky can probably contest to this, that most people are not even aware. Like you don't have news because you can't afford cable. Right? There's just no getting the information to them, and they know it. And I have the Page of Cups here. Keep them emotionally suppressed. And it has a lot to do with emotionally suppressed and monetary suppressed and physically suppressed. And this is how they have done it. It's no accident that Kentucky is one of the worst states that we have in our union. It's not an accident.
Right.
It's by design. And if we could get somebody there to get to door to all these people who are in this position and get them registered and get them into get them out of it and get them to the polls, I think we would have a hugely different result in Kentucky. And they would be doing better, of course, under Democratic ruling. Not ruling, that sounds like a king, but in Democratic, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's happening in Kentucky.
And I looked at this. So I looked at the world influence on this, and I'm saying, is this from Russia? Is this from China? That that they want to keep this, Mitch in. They want to keep their way of life going, and so that's why this has all been manipulated a little bit. I said, is it going to be exposed? And there are people that see this. They're looking at it, they're planning at it, they've got some truth that's going to be coming out. They're going to start really looking into it, but it's going to be like that this is too young of an energy. And then you have the high priestess who is just gonna blanket it in secrecy. So it's just gonna keep going down there in Kentucky. But you mentioned something that is super, super important. And I got a comment on this. Texas has changed their voter registration date, and people don't really know it. So you have to be registered to vote in Texas by January 31st,
I'll go ahead and post
2022.
that up. I have all that information. I'll go ahead and post that up right here.
Ho, Texas, you're on deck. It's that time again. Primary voting is next on deck. The last day to register to vote is January 31st. The first day of primary early voting is February 14th. And your last day to apply for a mail-in ballot is February 18th. Last day for early voting is February 25th. And your primary election day is March 1st. So the top contenders, of course, is Democrat Beto and Republican Applehead Abbott. And for Lieutenant Governor, we have Dan Patrick and Democrat Mike Collier. And for Attorney General, we have Democrat Lee Merritt against the con artist Ken Paxton. So these are the ones that are on the main line, and I want y'all to go ahead and scurry on over there to the voting and tell them what you want. It is very important that we show up and show out on these primaries. So if you need to register or check your registration, go to govotexas.org.
So that you,
Yeah.
so now that you know the dates that you need to register, it's coming up, and they're like the 31st is the last day
Yeah,
to get registered, and there's a date after that, and a date after that, and a date after that you need to be on point with. Is exactly
correct.
So I
And
just-
it's weird because I've posted this before. Check your registration. Make sure everybody's still registered to vote. Even in California, I go, oh, I'm safe, man. I don't need to do that. No, I do.
yeah.
And I went in and I checked, and I still am, but keep checking. That should be, on your calendar once a month. Double check to make sure you're still, this is too important to sit out.
Agreed.
It's going to be a nail biter coming up, in my opinion, with this energy I'm feeling right now anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to get out the information as much and as possible as we can to vote. I mean, if there is any other voting, the midterms are going to be just so incredibly important.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
we definitely need to get the word out for that. So what else do we got? Do you want to go into Russia and Ukraine and the United States? What kind of question do you want?
Yeah, I just want to get the energy on that. I read on Russia and Ukraine before, and the energy was, just a lot of posturing. That's what I felt with it. And so I want to see if that's still the case, if it's still posturing, or if there's going to be any serious consequences.
You think that you want to know, so you want to know if Russia is actually going to, before it was just like, oh, we're not really going to do it, but you wanted to see if that energy has changed.
Yeah, if they're going to actually go into Ukraine, if there's going to be a lot of, well, I mean, if they go into Ukraine, then, the world's on notice, and they're on notice. And is that wartime? Entertainment only? That's not entertainment. That's serious. I don't know what YouTube allows or doesn't allow these days anymore. So,
I just say what I want, and then they tell me what I did.
well, when I'm shuffling, thinking about this, I got the Sun card. So that popped out. So that feels good to me, obviously, that.
Look at that. So did I.
Oh, okay, good.
I got conflict exposed. Conflict exposed.
Okay.
So something not worth the price, conflict exposed.
Yeah.
Fear of failure. That's interesting because there's a lot of people, of course, whatever, those other people. I really do feel like that Putin knows that Biden means what he says. I mean, Putin has been dealing with him for the 8 years he was under Obama, and now. So Putin knows this man. No doubt about it. He knows that when he says something, he's gonna do it.
Right.
And I think the fear of failure is really in Putin. I think he really wanted to stage that coup. I think he really wanted, and he's going to look at Biden and say, "Hey, they shot first. They shot
right.
first."
Right.
And
Right.
it changes the dynamics.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Well, I got
Self-sabotage.
no.
Exactly what I got.
Yeah. What'd you say? Self-sabotage?
Yeah, self-sabotage is
Right.
exactly what I got.
Right. I didn't get any conflict cards, which is great. So I got family money with the 10 of Pentacles, the hierarchy. I've got the 7 of Pentacles, which is looking at all your money and reviewing it. And I'm like, they don't want to lose that much money. They don't want to go into Ukraine and see the loss. They know what they're going to lose. I have the Wheel of Fortune, which again, fortune, but things are going to switch. If they go in there, that wheel is going to spin and it's not going to be for their favor. It's going to give them 5 of Pentacles loss. And it's this addiction that they're tied to. And this is Putin's addiction, I think, that, I've got to be the strong guy. I've got to be, whatever. He is this card and people are tied to him and chained to him. And the final card that I pulled on this was that they are going to be increasingly isolated. If they were to go in, that would just isolate Russia and they would lose all of this family money, all of their wealth. It would just be devastating to them. So I'm not seeing any of that. So I still think that they're, this isn't a good card to, it's like, yeah, he's still going to be, being a butthead.
I agree.
And he is still going to cause people loss and sadness, but it's not going to be full on. That's what I'm getting.
I kind of agree. I agree also.
What do you mean, kind of? What do you mean, kind of agree?
I kind of agree.
Oh, man.
Meaning that I got different information to add on.
All right.
I got this, the don't let your focus close to new ideas. He's going to come up with new crap.
Oh. Yeah.
That's what I got too, is I got that selfishness and I got that self-sabotage, and he's going to come up with new ideas. I mean, he's not, just like you said, he has this obsession. He won't let it go.
Yeah. I don't like that new idea card that you pulled.
But justice will be swift with him. So his new ideas are not really going to go anywhere, but he just sits there. He's probably like our little 45 who sits there and conjures up all of the bad stuff. Like, he sits there and goes,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What can I
Right.
do next? But he's going to conjure it up. The sun, of course, is still there. It's going to be enlightened. I also have Emperor and Queen of Wands. There's some sort of feminine energy or some sort of reckoning happening with Putin. Because I have Emperor and the Queen of Wands. I have, own your own space and confidence. Like the people around him are starting to gain confidence against him. Because I had that feminine, that Wands.
Wow.
There's something there. It says you can always call on your natural confidence, your nature.
Right.
There's people around him that are gaining confidence against him.
Right.
He's losing his respect of his people.
Yeah. Well, and that's that last card, the Hermit. You know, he's just isolated.
Yep.
So
there's that with Mr. Putin. And I wanted to, let's read if well, the US is already, you know, I just feel it in my soul that Biden has literally threatened him. You go, we go.
yeah.
You know, we're not going to sit back and allow you to do that. And I think Putin really, really, really wanted for them to look like they're the bad guys. He was thinking that would work.
Right.
You
Right.
know? But I don't.
Yeah, you know, and Sleepy Joe, you don't want to be on his bad side.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't think he'd be, you know, he may,
He's
you
a
know,
scorpion.
yeah, right. So
At the
if
end
he-
of the day, he's a scorpion.
yeah, right, right. So if Pootie was listening to Mr. Pumpkinhead and going, oh yeah, Sleepy Joe, don't have to worry about him, I think that's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Huge mistake. And yeah, and I don't want it to go there. I don't want, I want Joe just to be no drama Joe. Like, and we were talking about this before, I think before we pushed record,
Yes.
that we, in the beginning of the administration, it was so nice not to have the crazy chatter all the time. And it was so lovely just to be in the quiet, knowing that the government was working
Yes.
without just all the noise. Now we're kind of wanting a little bit more noise, but people are working in a professional manner behind the scenes.
Yes.
It's kind of nice.
It is very nice. Professionalism. We're not used to it.
Yeah.
And that's the, you know, like Merrick Garland. I remember everybody like, he's not doing anything. He's so quiet. And then I woke up in a sweat. And I was telling you this earlier. I woke up in a sweat one night in the middle of the night. And I woke up and said, it's professionalism. He's not going to lay out his cards. It's like professional. He's going to be quiet. He's going to do his job and be quiet. It's professionalism. Yeah. We just don't want to recognize it because we've been so berated with unprofessionalism for, 4 years or more with Trump. So it's professionalism. That's what we're experiencing with all of this.
Yeah.
All right. So what else do we got?
What did I write down? Well, that's, that's kind of it. I mean, I keep going over the same stuff. So if we wanted to read on those false pro-Trump electors, but that's all just going to unfold. It's just another layer upon another layer that the Republicans will say that didn't mean anything. It's not a big deal. So.
Well, I agree.
But I did get the star when I was shuffling on this, and I pulled the bottom of the deck. That's the card I got. So they are going to come to light. It's the Star of Hope. That is going to help with our democracy with bringing truth forward.
Let's read on the lawsuit against Trump from Georgia's side to Trump and see what we get and see what's going to happen with that. Okay. I think that it's like a race between New York and Georgia after Trump. You know what I mean? I think it's a head-on race against either one of them. Like, we're going to get him first. No, I'm going to get him first. No, I'm going to get him first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's read on the.
And I just hear in my head there was an Alison Krauss album or CD or whatever you call them now, and it was live, and somebody goes, "I love you, Allison," and then somebody else said, "I love you more."
Yes.
And one of the guys said, "This is not a race."
Yes.
And that's it. It shouldn't be a race to see who gets them first, but
It just feels like
it does feel like
feels
it.
like it. Yeah. It just kind of
Does
feels
feel like it.
Yeah, Letitia James is like, I got him. No, and then the girl down in Georgia, I can't remember her name, but she's like, no, I got him. You know
I
what mean?
got him. I got him. And maybe I don't know. Maybe they do have like this friendly rivalry about that.
Yeah.
But
Healthy.
Letitia,
healthy.
Letitia James, just the frustration of Trump pushing back and filing lawsuit after lawsuit
Yes.
after lawsuit without having any he just says no, you can't do that, and then they put it on the books to go to court, and they go to court and the lawyers go, well, we got nothing, and they go, okay, case dismissed.
It works. The reason why that works is because they just kick the can down the road, you see.
Absolutely.
They always have to, if something prosecuting against them, they have to wait until that lawsuit is settled, or that court proceedings is settled before they can move on. Like, well, maybe that's the reason why they do it.
Right.
Kick the can down the street. It's a tactic. It's worthless, and they waste our money and our time and our courts. It's just awful. All right, I'm gonna shuffle. I'm gonna mute so I can shuffle. And
Okay.
We'll see what.
I'm gonna sing a song while you mute because no, I'm not. All right. Georgia versus Trump. What's the outcome? Georgia versus Trump. What is the outcome? Just need 11,000 votes. Come on, guys. What's that outcome? Georgia versus. Come on.
Well. What'd you get?
I did a full spread on this. So I'll read some of the highlights to it. So this is George's perspective for Trump, as far as, the Trump saying, I need 11,000 votes. Come on, guys. Where's my camera? I got the Chariot. That's at the center of the reading, and it's being crossed by Strength. So their case is so strong, right? They have this. However, there is still going to be a lot of defending their case, because it goes back to, if Trump really thought that the election was fraudulent, which you say enough things so many times, you actually do start believing it. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. In the past, Georgia is moving on to calmer waters. Yay. Going back to a simpler time, and they have the Star of Hope in the potential near future. Yay. So all this is good. No, I don't see any jail yet. I do see someone having a whole lot of loss, feeling just a lot of loss. Yeah. And then I have defending oneself. This is Trump defending himself. And I got the King of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. And the King of Pentacles, he hopes that it'll still be a King of Pentacles. And the fear is that he'll lose all his money. What is Georgia thinking in the final outcome? It's a little party. It's a celebration. The underlying cards are a new beginning with the Queen of Swords. That Queen of Swords legal energy is that woman that we can't remember her name. down in Georgia. The sun is going to shine and somebody is going to be very, very sad. I think that's the King
I
of
think it's
Pentacles.
perfect, actually. Yeah, and Trump, because Trump insists that his phone call to Georgia's Secretary of State was perfect,
Perfect.
perfect, and that's what he's pretty much. That's what they're pretty much dealing with when he's talking to it. I have it up right here. I don't see her. The Fulton County DA. It still doesn't say her name. Anyhow, I also got the speak your mind. Speak your mind.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what she's doing, is getting the truth, speaking her mind, getting the information out there. What we also have is, I don't know if this means on my spread, because I also got the Five of Pentacles. I don't know if she has limited resources, because maybe there's an offer that kind of offers him, but the King and the Wheel of Fortune. So the King of Cups, which is the Democratic, which is the, the judge and all of that, and the whole, this is the result of the whole lawsuit, is the King of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. So they do get what they want. However, the Death card is there for right underneath the offer. See, they're offering him something, but there's an end to it in poverty. So there's a lot of loss with that offer. Is almost like, because I also get the Page of Cups. Please think about what you're doing. Take your time for your decisions, right?
Right.
But it doesn't work for him. It's almost something really does take victory, because the end of it is victory for Georgia and for the district attorney. And she's willing to put an end to it. Transformation. No longer will you ever do this. Poverty. There's going to be, laws and regulations so that this will never ever happen again. I think this is what the outcome of all of that definitely is.
Right.
So I don't see, we don't know about arrest, but we definitely know loss for Trump, all that good stuff. I don't know. Let's see if, I don't know.
Her name is, by the way, I just saw it. Fannie T. Willis is the Fulton County District Attorney.
Okay. There you go.
So I think that's her. But yeah, it's weird. They don't really mention her name that much.
Fannie Willis. Oh, I see it right here. And this is a former President Donald Trump released a lengthy statement on Thursday describing his phone call to Georgia Secretary of State seeking to overturn the state's 22 election results as perfect.
Yeah.
He released the statement after it was reported that the Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis requested the formation of a special jury. So she's getting a special jury, grand jury, so that he can't kick the can down the road.
Right.
These people
and
are
what was
just for them?
Yeah, and my understanding of that was that who was the guy that counted the votes that he had the phone call with?
Raffensperger.
Yeah. So
Raffensperger.
Right. So when she said, "Hey, will you come in and talk?"
Yep.
He goes, "You need to subpoena me." I will. You need to subpoena me. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
And so she's taking it to this route, and hopefully he won't, pull a Jim Jordan or a McCarthy and say, "Yeah, I will." And no, I don't either. But the interesting thing on mine, because I'm looking, I go, is there any jail time? So I get this card, which could be a jail, although he's not restricted. He's just pretty beat up, with the King of Pentacles. And then the next card is that a jail card? I don't really see it as it, but somebody's.
I don't know yet either. I was going to ask about that question too, and it came to me like, I don't know if that's in the cards yet. I don't know.
Yeah. And I've never seen him in in jail.
I know something about that man is like a slippery. Have you ever tried to hold on to a fish in mud?
Oh,
Can't.
yeah. Just this morning, I was grabbing onto a fish when I was standing in this mud puddle.
Exactly. You cannot hold on to a fish in mud. I agree with that. All right, my dear. Well, we're about an hour in.
All right.
So was there anything else that we wanted to kind of look at before we?
I'm just pulling 3 on Trump in jail. We'll see. It's not decided yet, because I got the Wheel of Fortune at the last card. Things are still spinning around. New information's coming out. So
Well, ironically, I got the Hermit and the Four of Cups. I got both of these literally when I asked if he was going to be in jail. I don't know if this is jail, but this is definitely
4 cups. So is he being given an offer?
emotionally restricted.
Well, yeah, that's him.
Feeling your grief, and he's not going to be happy with these results at all.
No.
At all. He's going to be very angry. He's not going to be happy with these results at all.
Good.
Not going to go his way.
Good.
So
Not that any.
I know.
All right. Should we pull a card for
Let's do
everybody
that.
watching?
Let's pull a card. Let's do that.
Let's pull a Dreamtime card. I am anyway. And if Lori's watching, why aren't
Love
you
you,
in
girl.
bed? Why aren't you sleeping?
Exactly.
Yeah, wishing her well, sending her psychic chicken soup.
All right. Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
That's awesome. I just pulled 3 cards from my butterfly deck.
I thought we were pulling 1 card.
I don't know what happens to me. Just does it.
I pulled 52 cards.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, give your first one and then I'll give mine and then you can give your other 2.
Okay. The first one I got was Healing from the Past. I don't know
Ah.
if you guys can see this.
Oh, that's pretty.
Healing from the past. So we are in the season of healing. We are in the season of going forward and healing from the past and taking that breath, and everybody being okay that happened, and not being okay that it happened, but being okay that we can heal, accept what it is, and then heal and move on. So I got healing from the past. What do you got?
I got, when we're healing from the past, know that we have the power of community to help us through. And that is another theme that has been coming up, how we as a community can raise vibrations throughout the world. Nancy Jean and I were talking about this with her 9 candles and the Rory Duff ley lines things, which have you ever tried dowsing ley lines with your dowsing rods?
No, I've only done a water. Mm-hmm.
So I want to get some dowsing rods and try to find some ley lines around. But he's talking about going to these where the ley lines intersect and getting a community of people to meditate around these energy sources. And if we get enough, then it changes the planet's vibration. And that's what this is saying, gathering around the power of community.
Yeah.
So it's just another reminder to me what we have, what we're building together as this YouTube phenomenon community is just unfolding in front of our eyes.
Absolutely. It kind of reminds me of the Lila metric system where they introduced this energy to all of these vibrating like metal balls or whatever that they're doing. And all of a sudden critical mass happens and they're all bouncy and erratic. And all of a sudden it gets to a critical mass and they all line up.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that theory is that critical mass. And that's what I think we should be pushing is like everybody's energy, everybody's positive thinking. If we get enough people doing it, the people that are not doing it are going to line up with us because it's called critical mass. They have no other choice but to fall in with this energy
Right.
All right. So the last two is gracefully aging and courage to gracefully age in our who we are and what we do. As you and I, we have fully embraced our gray hair, so we had the courage to you have gray hair.
I thought it was
no,
blonde.
Danny, you have gray hair.
My hair's almost as long as yours.
Is it? Maybe
Almost.
we'll just I have to come out there and style it like mine. They'll be so confused. That would be fun.
It would. It would.
Oh gosh. All right, my dear. Well, thanks everyone. If you've
Thank
made
you
it
all.
this far, thank you so much for all of your support. And
Yes.
go visit Danny on his channel. He's wonderful. So,
Thank
and
you.
Lori, we'll see you again. We
Yay.
will get together and get this done. I hope you feel
Yes, we
better, my
will.
dear.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Drawback is I wish I could have taken it because it seemed really neat, and we've got it on record, so I can go back and take it if I could stand listening to myself. Do you like listening to yourself and rewatching yourself?
No, when I'm editing videos, I have a hard time
Yeah.
listening to me it's
too.
kind of tough. It's not my voice, it's not anything. It's just like I've heard this already. It's like watching a rerun 30 million times and I get it.
Right.
It's a little tough. And it's a little tough to watch you. I've gotten used to being on YouTube and seeing my face on YouTube and all of that. I've kind of gotten used to that, but at first it was a little shocking. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
me.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's me on there. All right.
I know. And I'm looking, I go, man, you have a lot of blonde hair.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I critique myself terribly on that, and a lot of people are like, oh, shouldn't do that. Take it. I was like, but you don't understand. I watch everything just to make sure that everything's good to go.
Yeah.
It's in here. I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite for me. I'll get on and I'll look, I go, oh my God, you should have maybe looked in the mirror first.
And then you go, they don't care.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go work on the truck later. So, or I just got done working on the truck,
Oh, so you know how to mechanic, huh?
I know how to break things. So I'll go in there trying to fix it and it'll end up sometimes worse.
And you're running into the house. Call the fire department and the mechanic. Hurry.
It only happened twice.
Right.
You didn't
Your
have to
wife's
rub
going,
it
Honey,
in.
I already called him 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, right.
Oh, funny.
Done it already. Yeah.
Mhm. She's already ahead of you.
Oh yeah.
She's like, the moment you went out there, I called them and said, hey, in about 30 minutes, I might be calling you.
Yeah.
I already put them on standby.
Yeah. Could you just park around the corner?
Right. It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna bring you some donuts and coffee.
Oh, fun. All right. So that's awesome. And
Yeah.
you're doing in the collaborations. Have you been doing a lot of collaborations or
Yeah.
is that kind of slowed down a little?
Yeah, it has slowed down for me just because I've been doing this class.
Yeah.
So, but it'll pick up again after the class. And, you know, Medium Kim was saying, so when are you teaching again? And I'm like, I need to catch my breath first.
Right.
But,
Oh, yeah,
I think there will be, I got some things spinning up here that, and I'm not sure what direction I want to take that in or what I want to do with it or, but yeah, something.
I have one of those lists as well. I just write it down and any idea that comes through, I just write it down. And when that comes to fruition or when that idea is ready to blossom,
Yeah.
I look at all of my list and it kind of like highlights off of the page. It's really weird. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand that. Just kind of like jotting it down.
Right. I mean, I think it's important to, I've had a journal for, for years, and sometimes I write, sometimes I don't. And recently I've been getting a lot of messages, keep writing. Oh. So the journaling is really good. And in that journaling is where I have all my certain ideas, but then there'll be something that just keeps showing up and the weirdest things. And it's like, oh my gosh, I need to go follow up that line of thought that I had 3 months ago, just like feathers falling, phone numbers, repeating numbers and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's been happening a lot lately, a whole lot. So,
well, good. When we become aware, my arm hurts. When we become aware, the universe finally gets on board. Like, all right, we can send them signs now. They're so excited. He's going to pay attention.
Yeah, and then I don't, and then they go, oh.
Maybe next time.
And then they slap me in the head with it.
Yeah, nobody gets hit anymore. We do not.
They're hitting me. They slap me upside the head.
No, we don't.
They give me vertigo, make my ears ring louder.
That is true. They did do that with you.
So that volcano that went off.
La Palma or the one in
Tonga.
Tonga. Yeah, Tonga.
Yeah. So when that went off, we were under tsunami watch out here. I had vertigo so bad for that 3 hours that 3 or 4 hours that we were under a tsunami watch.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
I go, is it pressure change or am I getting something that I should pay attention to? I don't know. Right. It was very weird. Wow. But enough about me and my vertigo ears.
Vertigo. Yeah. Vertigo is definitely, I would think you might go into a really good meditation to see if you get any answers about that.
Yeah.
I that tsunami, I know that everybody played it down and kind of made fun of, like it was like a 2-foot wave, like nobody, they were just kind of, trying to play it down. And I thought, how disrespectful to the people who got disastered, right?
Right.
They put you on a tsunami. They seriously tell you that you might be at risk for a danger. And then here you are laughing at it.
Yeah.
How disrespectful can that be to the people who actually lost everything over a tsunami?
Yeah.
I just got really upset at that. I really did. On TikTok, they're like, oh, look at this. This is fake. I'm like, you are so disrespectful.
And the thing about waves is that it's, people say size matters, not in waves. It doesn't, because there could be, you have wind waves that could be very big, but not a lot of power behind them.
Yeah.
But a tsunami, even a little wave, has a huge amount of force to it that'll just knock you on your butt.
Correct. So, a 2-foot wave can be pushed inland and that's the tsunami, not the big
Yeah.
wave. It's the water being pushed inland is the
Yeah.
tsunami.
And it just keeps coming. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very glad that you on your coast, I think it was Santa Cruz that kind of got a little
Yeah.
a little bit of it. So yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was real and they warned you, and I think that was appropriate thing to do, but I think it was inappropriate for them people. And I'm on my soapbox one more time, how disrespectful you are to go down there and make fun of, you know, a minimal tsunami. Like, these people don't know what they're talking about. I'm like,
Right.
really?
We had people going out kayaking in the bay.
Well,
And I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, well, would be protected in the bay. And I'm like, no, you wouldn't.
so disrespectful.
I know. And so what's that doing? The first responders now got to go save your ass because you were being stupid.
Correct. You put your
Hey, speaking
life
of stupid, Mitch McConnell